So how was that week of rest, so to speak?
It was great. It was much needed. Going into postseason, it's a lot. Coming from regular season, it's just been week after week. And this weekend, we're like, wow, like this is the first Friday where we're not competing. But it's also a break physically and mentally, just to help us prepare even more for the rest of the season.
What did you do on Friday night?
I slept. Yep, after practice.
Out of curiosity, do you guys prefer the old format for postseason regionals, or do you like the new kind of 3-day format the way it is this year?
We haven't done it yet, so I'm not really sure. I think it's less, the old format is quicker. Less competition days, less taxing on your body, because going back to back like that, it's hard. We only really do that at nationals. We do practice a little bit in regular season where we do a Friday meet and then come back on a Sunday, and that's specifically like our we set that up just to try to mimic nationals. So it's going to be different, but we that's what we do in the gym. We prepare, we do inner squads back to back, we do routines back to back, and so I think it'll be fine. It'll be a little different, and it's cool to see that. I think the intensity of gymnastics will be higher because it is harder to make it to nationals this year and going forward. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Just reading up on it, the way the new format is, basically they said they structured it to kind of benefit the health of the student athlete. But wouldn't you think spacing it over the course of 3 days, maybe, like you said, is more taxing? Is it like that?
Yeah, back-to-back days like that, it is more taxing. I think, if anything, they're thinking of just to eliminate those bye rotations, because it's hard when you go, okay, like one event, next event, and then stop for 30 minutes. And it's hard because you don't want to get cold, you don't want to lose the momentum you have, and so with this format it's great because we go all 4 events right away and we don't stop until the meet's over. So in those terms, it's great. It's awesome. We love that. We don't like stopping once we've started. So
I was just curious. I was reading up on it, trying to get an understanding of what the difference was.
Yeah, and I think it's for TV time too. It'll definitely take less time. And then it'll be easier to see, just follow up with scores, and the scoring isn't weird because one team hasn't competed on one event and another team is finished, and so the layout it's smart, but we just haven't done it yet. So.
You guys excited to be back in the PMAC for hopefully back to back?
Yeah, definitely. It's funny because senior night, everyone's like, oh, it's your last one, and yeah, it was the last home meet, but hey, we're headed back there. So I'm looking forward to a good crowd and good energy.
It's been a long time coming. You've had a lot of really good teams here for the first time hosting in years, I think.
Yeah. It'll be different because, when we're in the PMAC, we're used to just a dual meet, 2 teams on the floor, the stands packed with LSU fans, and so it'll be a neutral setting, so it'll be a little different, but I'm excited to see all the Tiger fans that show up.
I'm always curious when that's going on, how you maintain your focus, because there's applause going off from different corners of the floor, and cheers going off, and you got to focus on being on a beam or whatever.
Yeah, that's what is exciting about postseason. I think there's just so much constant energy. It honestly doesn't really matter where it's coming from because energy is energy, and you feel it. You feel the enthusiasm. You feel the crowd. So it's fun and it's an exciting time, and I hope people are gonna want to come this weekend because it's gonna be a show.
How did that podium meet and then right away with that Sunday meet, how do you think that helps prepare y'all for the upcoming postseason?
Like I said earlier, it helps with just those, on your body. It's hard on your body, especially back-to-back days, and so practicing that. We did have 1 day of rest, but we still had to travel and all of that stuff, so it kind of was similar to what we see in postseason. But you know, it's really important because at this point it's a mental game, and we can look back and be like, hey, like we had 2 great meets back to back in the regular season, and so just entering with that mindset going forward.
And at that podium meet, you actually saw one of the teams that's going to be here, which is unique and exciting. What do you know about all of the teams that you're going to be seeing? Not necessarily you compete against yourself, obviously, but
yeah, I think we've seen a few of the teams actually that will be here. There will be 9 teams coming, 9 or 10 coming to regionals. So.
4, 3,
Yeah, so it's going to be exciting, and some of the teams we haven't seen before, but I mean, in regular season, every weekend we say, hey, we're competing against every single team in the country. So just going in with that mindset again, saying like, hey, like we know how to do our gymnastics. It's in our home setting, basically. Let's get the job done.
I know you probably don't like thinking about it just yet, because I know the season's not over, but you're obviously coming up here on the final one. What is different about this team? What are you thinking about right now as the season is kind of almost coming to a close?
Honestly, I'm so proud of each and every one of those girls. We've come a long way. We had a lot of adversity in preseason. Even we had injuries, we had setbacks, and we had a rough beginning of season. But we grabbed a hold of it, we learned from it, we grew from it, and we're excelling right now, and we don't plan on stopping. And so I'm just so excited to finish the ride out with these girls.
Speaking of some of those a little bit of a rocky start, a couple rocky meets there, what specifically did you guys take from that and are using right now? Whether you guys reference it or just think about it, what do you guys use from that?
I think just that, like, hey, we know what it's like not being our best. We know what it's like being at our best. Let's use these things here and there. We know our gymnastics at this point. We know the mentality that we need to have. We've learned from, the mistakes that we might have made in the beginning of season. We know how to adjust. We know how to just adapt to different environments, and so everything that we've learned over the course of regular season, we can use it to our advantage in postseason. And if anything, I'd rather us learn those mistakes that we had at the beginning of season than postseason, because this is when it actually matters. And I think that there has been a lot of growth and maturity within our team, and that's going to benefit us.
what does it mean to you to be SEC Gymnast of the Year 2007?
It's cool, and it's cool to say that not many gymnasts have earned that accolade. That's never the goal. I wanted a championship, and we got that, so I'm happy.
And you weren't the only one. Coach got Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Lexi was on first team.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to be surrounded by people who are doing things that are recognized as well?
It just speaks to how amazing our program is, how much our program has grown, and just LSU as a whole. I mean, this school is amazing, and I'm so honored to be a part of it and just earning accolades along with coaches and teammates and representing LSU.
I know it's coach speak, one game at a time, one meet at a time mentality, but do you guys talk about it collectively as a group, how bad this unit wants to win a national title?
Yeah, I mean, we addressed that at the beginning of the year, even before postseason. We have a team meeting, we sit down, we lay out basically the plan of what we want. We lay out our goals, and one of them was an SEC championship, another one is win regionals, and then ultimately nationals. We talk about never fixing your eyes on the end goal, but also keeping a steady fixation where you are, because it's a mountain that we have to climb. It's these stepping stones that you have to overcome to get there where we want to be. And I think our team has done a really good job of, just making those milestones and progressing forward each time. People have said, y'all are doing great. Do you think you've peaked, all this? And we don't want to peak right now, because once you've peaked, you're at the top. But we want to peak at nationals. So I think that we're doing a great job right now, and I'm looking forward to doing even better.